entire time, by the way, just so you know.
Are we live on YouTube at all?
Oh, no, that's what it was. Some big dummy didn't hit the go live button.
Oh, well, I texted my buddy we're going live, and he's like, we're not live. So we haven't been live at all?
No, we haven't been live at all until about 10 seconds ago.
Well, no wonder. Well, see, this is why I text my idiot friends like we're going live. They're like, okay. Okay, well, no, okay, I see we're live on my other computer.
Yeah, well maybe maybe they're not such idiot friends. Maybe it's the other guy that's doing this that's the idiot. Maybe that's
live.
What it is.
We're live. Anyone that's watching now, we thought we were live for like 2 or 3 minutes, and we weren't.
Yeah, and we were not. So
we were not.
We already got people jumping on. So
and we weren't live. Luckily, my buddy texted me. It's like, where are you guys? So luckily, otherwise we would have been talking for probably 30 minutes and not realize we weren't live. But, I'm getting all these texts. Oh my God.
You've got great friends over there, man. And like you said, if you hadn't had them,
are you guys retarded or what?
Well, can we go with the or what part? Can we do that? I mean,
I love my friends. That's so funny.
Yeah. So we did the intro. We swear we did, but none of you saw it. So I'm glad I didn't debut the new one like I was thinking about doing, because I'd have really been mad if I'd have done all that and put all the work into that and then really screwed it up. So yeah.
Oh my God, that was funny.
All right, buddy. So we will get to the 5 Flamin' 5 and 5. This is going to be our MLB All-Star Edition. We're going to talk about how everything has been chosen, where they're at in the balloting, and what you guys can do as fans, and what we would do, of course, if we were fans as well. Got a ton of notes on the baseball stuff coming up. We got our buddy Just Jarman here, who will be with us in just a few minutes.
Ben Jarman.
Ben Jarman. There we go.
Yes.
I'm trying to see how many things I can screw up in the first 10 minutes of this show.
You're off to a good start.
I am. Oh, man. So I think I should just refer to my notes and be done over here, right? And I think that might be the best thing for me to do right at the moment.
I mean, yeah, we can. I mean, I'll improv. You do the notes, and I'll be the one who improvs. How about that?
Well, actually, your friends will be, because I'm glad your friend said something. So
I'm glad he doesn't know how to work YouTube and subscribe and like. So I have to send him the podcast every time, and I said we're live, and he's like, "No, you're not." He said, "I can't find you." He likes to do it on X. He likes to watch the show on X. So,
well, he's not the only one. There's lots of people who are with us on X right now. We've already got a ton of people who have jumped on with us. They're probably laughing right along with us. So we appreciate it. We do the best we can, but sometimes our best just isn't good enough. All right, that's what it works out to be. All right, buddy. So let's go ahead and explain the 5 Flamin' 5 and 5. Cheese has 5 minutes. We'll give him 5 questions. He will have that 5 minutes to answer those 5 questions. And then if he does, he will not burst into flames. And then we'll get a bonus question. And that's when we will bring Ben Jarman onto the screen. We'll have him help us with that bonus question here in just a little bit. And, of course, you guys can all comment. I swear the comment thing is working. If you just click on the comment button and type in what you need to do, as long as you're talking about what we're talking about, then we'll be good to go. We'll put you up on the screen and maybe even make you famous to like the 8 people who are watching right now. So, yes.
Yeah, by 8 he means 8,000.
Yeah. Actually, there's quite a few people on with us right now. So yeah, we're good. Yes. And let's get in one real quick before we do the 5 Flamin' 5 and 5. There we go. Melissa says hi. Hi, Melissa. We appreciate it. And, of course, one of our regulars here.
William.
Hello, everyone. Hi, everyone. We appreciate that, too.
And, William, I just released a Steelers video today. That's your team. So check out my channel, Football with Cheese. Yep, I'm already doing it. I'm already plugging Football with Cheese on YouTube. X, Football Cheese without the with. Already doing it.
All right. So I don't know if you can be famous or not, Melissa. We'll do our best. All right.
You are.
Then, okay. Whatever.
Yes, Melissa, you are famous. Definitely. Because you're on the Lights Out podcast. So Lights Out Sports.
That's right. I mean, a shout out. We've been talking about you for the last 45 seconds.
Melissa, who's your favorite team? Who's your favorite baseball team? Let us know in the comments. And everyone tonight, let us know your favorite. Oh, thank you, William. Appreciate it. Let us know your favorite baseball team in the comments. I'm curious who everyone likes. We're curious, do we have, I mean, Boley joins sometimes a Mariners fan, but let's see. Do we get like Athletics fans? We got Giants fans. Let us know. Maybe West Coast people. Let us know. Shout out, Melissa. Let us know your favorite baseball team in the comments tonight.
So I take it she's here for the football.
Okay. All right, we'll talk football too. All right, Melissa, what's your favorite football team?
Good job, Cheese. Good job.
I know it's baseball season, so not a whole lot going on football, but we will talk football tonight.
We will. We will talk some football tonight as well. So, all right. We appreciate everything. We're gonna put. Hang on here. I'll get that up, and then we're gonna put this on hiatus for a moment. Maybe.
We'll get to the 5-5 soon.
Yeah. The comments are just rolling in. So we'll talk about my team, Cincinnati Bengals, here in just a little bit. I'm also here in Arizona, so we'll do some Cardinals. But then, Cheese, what team do you go for?
A little team in a small town by Green Bay, Wisconsin. I'm a diehard cheesehead, and my literal name is Cheese in my channel, Football with Cheese. And I love when Melissa sets me up for this shameless plug. I love it. I love it. So
I don't think so, William, but that seems nice.
Well, the defense has got to be a lot better. It's got to be a lot better than it was last year. That's definitely. I do like the Jeremy Bernard second-round pick. I think he could make an immediate impact. So we'll talk more about that. We're going to do a football preview late August.
We will.
It will be a lot of fun, and I'm curious. We know Mike's going to pick the Bengals to win the division. We already know. I don't think I will, though. I don't know. I haven't decided, but I know I won't pick the Browns.
Well, nobody's going to do that. I mean, well, never mind. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, let's start this 5 Flamin' 5 and 5 again.
Susie 10. Hello there. Okay.
All right. Cheese gets 5 minutes. There we go. And I'm doing like 3 things over here. Cheese gets 5 minutes. He gets flames around him here in just a moment. And then he gets the chance to answer those 5 questions before they close in completely and surround him. And he bursts into flames. Now, as he said earlier, he's never burst into flames.
Not yet.
There's always a first for everything, right?
Yeah. Love all these comments early on. Love it.
It's fantastic. We will get to more of them here in just a moment. Let's start the music. Excuse me. And then the timer will start. When I finish reading the first question, Cheese, the last 2 players to ever hit 5 or more home runs with an OPS over 1,000 in their first 15 games, who were under the age of 22, were Yordan Alvarez and Esmerlin Valdez. I believe it's how you pronounce it. Is that too much pressure to put on the brand new Pittsburgh Pirate 22-year-old, comparing him to Yordan Alvarez?
Yes. I mean, no, he's not that kind of prospect. It's amazing what he's doing. Austin Riley had a really good start to his career too, and then pitchers adjusted. Sometimes pitchers just don't know how to pitch guys early on, and or you just get hot. You know, baseball, it's very streaky. I think it's way too much pressure to put on him. I honestly did not know who he was when Pittsburgh called him up, and I follow the minor leagues pretty good, so he couldn't have been like a big-time top prospect. So you might know more about him than I do, but I think it's too much pressure. I don't know if he feels pressure, but to compare him to Yordan Alvarez, who's one of the best hitters in baseball, has been for several years now, I think that's not good. That's not great for him.
Okay. He's actually been on the show on our stuff a few times, but I don't want to take away from too much of your time here, but we'll get to that here in a little bit. So secondly, sir, Arizona left tackle Paris Johnson is under team control until 2027, and he says he's seeking $40 million a year in his next contract. Cheese, will he get it?
I saw that. Did he actually say that? Or is it someone reported that he said that? I mean, did we have a video of that or audio?
I don't have the actual video of it. It's over on our X stream at All Gloves Off SM. You can go over and see it, but there's no video attached to it. It's just a picture of him and then the words.
Two things. One, no. To answer your question, no, he won't get it. I think the top tackle makes like $35 million a year. Paris Johnson's a good left tackle, but he's not like he's not elite. He's not like Tristan Wirth. He's not Trent Williams, not Penei Sewell. So he can't be you can't pay him $40 million a year. If that's what he wants, I think he's got 2 years left on his contract. I could be wrong. Yeah,
no, you're right. He's controlled until 27.
That's not. I don't think it's going to happen. No, I don't think he will get that. At least not this offseason.
Okay, so here's an interesting question. I can't wait to get this from you. Jerry Rice has the record for the most yards in the NFL, 22,895. DeAndre Hopkins is the current active leader with only 13,295. How large is the gap between those two receivers?
Oh, it's huge. Well, the thing with Jerry Rice is he was so good that even when he lost some speed, lost some athleticism, he still was better than most of the receivers in the league. Like, he played into his 40s. He basically went to camp with the Broncos and they told him, you're not going to make the team. Like, he played with the Raiders and the Seahawks. Like, he just did not want to stop playing because he was so gifted, so good, so smart, such a good route runner. He was able to keep playing. So that's it's just an unbreakable record. He's one of the best. I don't think he's the best receiver ever. Probably controversial. Some people do, but he's one of the best, 3 ever to do it. And it's just, no one's going to ever do that again.
Okay. 4th of 5 earlier this week. Arizona Cardinal receiver Michael Wilson told ESPN that a goal of his is to play with the Cardinals for his entire career. Hearing that, Cheese, if you worked for the Arizona front office, would you offer him a long-term contract today?
No, I would not. One really good year on a team that was behind a lot, so they threw a lot of passes, so he put up big numbers. I want to see him do it a second year. Very good season from Michael Wilson, but a lot of it was when Marvin Harrison Jr. was out. So I want to see him do it with Marvin Harrison Jr. there. I want to see him still put up the same production. So I'm going to wait on extending.
Okay. I probably have the same thought process there as well. And here is the final question of the 5 Flamin' 5 and 5. The only 2 players in the National League who have 50-plus RBIs and a 900 or better OPS are named Schwarber and Harper. Cheese, are they a threat to capture the National League East from the Atlanta Braves?
Yes, and I would expect them to catch the Braves and pass them, to be honest with you. Braves can't hit left-handed pitching. They have a big time issue. So many starters are hurt. Although, Ozzie Albies just got a hit against this left-handed pitcher. But I think the Braves are flawed. All their flaws are starting to show. So I think the Phillies actually will catch them, sadly. Ooh,
1 second left. Look at that.
Wow.
Oh, you got it, buddy. I appreciate it, man. We're keeping these comments rolling in. Let's go over here and look at them here because I don't like just putting stuff up there. Of course,
I am subbing.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that means.
Subscribe to you guys. Do we have? I don't think we have subscriptions. You can. Oh yeah, you can subscribe to the channel. Yeah.
The YouTube channels and stuff.
YouTube channel. Yes, and make sure you hit the bell so it notifies you when we make a video. You never know when we go live. You never know. We've done it before where something big happens and we've gone live, so you never know. Okay.
All right. So we got a bunch of stuff over here.
Appreciate it.
You're asking me how many does Rice have? How many yards does he have? Hang on, I can.
You said it was like 22,000 or something.
Let me see. 22,895. And just for comparison's sake, DeAndre Hopkins is the current leader. He has 13,295. So pretty pretty big difference there.
So I think Steve Largent he broke Steve Largent's record, right? Right. I believe that's who he broke. I could be wrong. Steve Largent at the time had barely over 13,000 yards. So that just tells you how far and above he went. So yeah.
So do you think Adams has a shot at breaking it?
No.
Davante?
No way.
No
way. Yeah. Adams is still a good receiver, but is he even at 10,000? Like, let me look it up. Here's the problem with Davante Adams. He's at 12,600. Okay. The problem with Davante Adams is he's never been fast. If he loses, if he becomes slow, I know he's, a great route runner. He wins the line of scrimmage better than any receiver in the modern era, maybe. Puka Nacua is trying to, look, they're teammates. But the problem with Davante Adams, if he becomes a 4.65, 4.7 guy, in a couple of years, then it's not going to happen. And he's barely past halfway. I love Davante, don't get me wrong, but I'd be shocked if he even gets within 5,000.
So did he turn to trash when he got to the Raiders?
No. Jerry Rice was still very good for the Raiders. He wasn't the peak, one of the best players ever, 49ers, but he's still very good. He was still a top 25 receiver, just wasn't like a lead anymore. But he's still very good for the Raiders. Went to Seattle, was like, why are you still playing? And then he went to camp with the Broncos when he's 42 years old, just trying to stay. He loved football. The dude he just wanted to play till he couldn't anymore. And I really respect
this is what I was thinking too. He's talking about Adams going to the Raiders, not Jerry Rice.
It didn't help his stats. It didn't help his stats. And he clearly did not. He didn't like the Packers' extension offers and just got butthurt and decided to request a trade. I get it. It's fine. They lowballed you. They did. They lowballed him. And rather than the Packers end up offering what he wanted, actually, but he was already pissed, so requested a trade. And Packers don't have Christian Watson. Without that, they got Quay Walker and Christian Watson with those two picks. Quay Walker was a terrible pick. He's actually on the Raiders now, ironically. But they got Christian Watson, so it did set them up.
All right, sir. So you got the questions. You did it within the 5 minutes. Let me ask you your bonus question. The Lions released cornerback. Help me here. Is it Terrion?
Terrion
Arnold. Are you surprised they released him?
No. You want me to keep talking? If anyone does not know, he is been accused of organizing a kidnapping, basically like a robbery, because of he lost money in betting or a poker game or something like that. And he apparently, if he did this, his girlfriend and some friends of his grabbed the wrong people, the people that did not steal from them. And he's accused of that, which is very bad. And he could get life in prison, like kidnapping, all kinds of charges. And the Lions obviously feel like he did it. And even if they're not 100% sure, it's a distraction. He's got to worry about that. So I'm not surprised.
I'm not sure if I need my nails done. We get all kinds of good stuff on here.
I'm good. Thanks for that, though.
Right. And we're happy that you got your license, though. I mean, you're showing go get them there. Yes. There are plenty of people who just sit at home and do nothing. So, yeah, good job by you. All right. I was kind of waiting. Ben Jarman went away, came back, went away again. So, wait, there he is. Hang on. He's unmuted himself, and we will add him here. Let me click the right button, put Cheese in the center, because that's where he loves to be, in the middle of that sports sandwich. So,
what? I have a smaller circle. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, yours is filling up everything. So, Ben Jarman, right? Ben Jarman Mungia, correct?
Correct.
Oh, look at me. Boy, that's the first thing I pronounced right all day. So, let's ask you. Let's bring you in on this conversation as well. The Detroit released that cornerback. Cheese kind of gave everybody a small sample size of what he's been doing. Ben, are you surprised that they released him?
No, I'm not. I think it was a good move. Just like as Cheese said, it's a big distraction because it's not a minor thing like a speeding ticket. I mean, I guess he organized a kidnapping, which is huge. And he is looking at life in prison if convicted on all the charges. So I'm not surprised that they released him. I'm not. I think that
allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. Yes, allegedly. Thank you. But I think it was a good move by Detroit to release him.
All right. So as we just kind of follow up on this for a moment, Ben, I'm going to keep with you for a second because you're the guest right at the moment. We'll get to introducing you here as soon as this question's done. Do you think another team will give him a shot?
I mean, if they're desperate enough. I mean, I guess we have to wait until how the legal process falls out and if he's convicted or not. But I mean, unless they're desperate enough, I don't think he's going to get another shot.
Cheese, what about you? You think any team's going to be desperate enough to give him a shot?
If he's acquitted, he's got a shot. But he would have to be completely acquitted. It would not even like not guilty. Like it would have to come out that he for sure didn't do it. That maybe maybe this hypothetical, like his ex-girlfriend, his friends did it without him knowing, and they're turning on him because they're looking at it. There had to be something like that. Other than that, if he is involved at all, if any team, there's no reason to sign him. And let's be honest, he was a first-round pick, but he's been really bad. So he's not even been good as a player. He's been drafted 2 years ago. He has not been a good football player. So I know he's talented. He was very good in college at Alabama, but he's not been a good football player. So it's not like he's one of the best corners in the league. So a lot would have to go right for him to even get another shot.
All right. And Joe, I see your question. We'll get to it here in just a moment. Let's finish this one up here. Cheese, I'm going to stick with you for a second. I know you saw it because we talked about it a little off air. Nick Saban wrote a letter of recommendation for this gentleman. What do you think about that? Should that have had any kind of difference? Should Nick Saban even be sticking his nose in this? I mean, I know that Nick was his coach once upon a time, but that was several years ago. So just give us your overall thoughts of Nick Saban and how he interfered in this court proceeding.
I was surprised when I heard about this. Nick Saban, obviously he has a strong relationship with him. They're obviously close. He either, one, believes Arnold's innocent, and that's why he did it, or two, knows he is guilty, but he feels like he's remorseful and he's trying to help out. Yeah, obviously there's some, Saban will talk about, he's the media now, his ex-players and how much they mean to him. He spent 1 year with Caleb Downs. He talked him up like he's the best player he ever coached. Coached him for 1 year. So Saban will get, someone's back, but I am surprised just because of what the charges are.
All right, Benjamin, what do you think about Saban writing the letter to the court? And actually it got him to where he's out of jail right at the moment, and he's got a really high bond, but he's out of jail right at the moment.
I was actually surprised that he wrote on the letter. I was reading a little bit of the letter, and it was talking about his character throughout his time in Alabama, and how Nick Saban described about how he, coached and mentored players from all across the United States. I understand where Nick Saban is coming from. And just like as Cheese said, he's writing that whether he's innocent or that even if he is guilty, that he is remorseful and that he can have a second chance. So I do definitely understand where Nick Saban is coming from. I don't know if that's going to help him out later on. But I understand why Nick Saban wrote the letter.
Okay.
How that's going to help him out, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess all Nick can go off of is how he was in Alabama, right? They probably kept up a little bit, but I'm sure he's not, texting him every day or anything like that. So if he was a character guy in Alabama and he thought maybe that could help him in court over the weekend, then okay. All right, so we got Joe Archuleta asking this question. Do you think Mendoza has a chance to be as big as everyone thinks he will be, considering all the improvements made with the O-line? Benjamin, let's go with you first, and then I'll wrap this up with Cheese.
I think he has a chance to be a really good quarterback, especially with the offensive line that's fixed, especially with Ashton Jeanty. I mean, I'm really pulling for Fernando Mendoza. I love them watching him, in Indiana. So I'm really rooting for him, especially with that improvement of the offensive line. And like I said, with Jeanty, I think they got a really solid chance to actually be a contender, and that Mendoza has a good chance of being a really good quarterback.
All right, Cheese, do you think Mendoza can be, as Joe says here, as big as everyone thinks he will be?
I do. I don't think it's necessarily going to be this amazing rookie year. It's not going to be Jay Daniels 2 years ago. It's not going to be CJ Stroud 3 years ago. It's not. They improved the center position. I don't know if there's any other position on the offensive line they improved. Center got way better. Jackson Powers Johnson still, he's about to enter his third year. He was an early second-round pick. He hasn't really shown much yet. Colton Miller's got to stay healthy at left tackle. So DJ Glaze, I think, is the right tackle. I don't necessarily love that. But, he's got Brock Bowers, got Ashton Jeanty. I don't think it's going to be this amazing rookie year, but yeah, he has a chance to be very good. They just got to keep building weapons around him.
All right, now we've got our special guest up here. You got Benjamin Munguia. He writes for his own site. So Ben, tell us where they can get you out on your socials and why you chose that particular social.
Yeah, so you can reach me at Tumblr. That's where I write my articles. The reason why I chose it was, at the time, I didn't want to pay for a website. So when I was trying to figure out... Fair. Yeah, I mean, I remember paying for a website. It's not fun. So, and my wife brought it up like, oh, well, if Tumblr's still open, you can try to write on that. So I've been doing it ever since. I've been trying to get around the idea of maybe going on WordPress or another area where I can write. I just have not gotten to that point yet. But I'm still going to continue to write on Tumblr. You can also follow me on TikTok. I do have my own takes on there on certain football situations as well. And you can follow me on Twitter as well at Just Jarman.
All right. How long did it take you to grow that beard, man? Jiminy Christmas.
I was going to say that. I was like, is this Ben Jarman or Dallas Keuchel?
So here's the thing. I started I had a full beard by the time I was 17. I have to get it from my dad's side because he had a full beard, especially in his 30s. And I would constantly shave it because at the time when I was in college, I was going for surgical technology, so I could not wear a beard. And then I chose a different career path, and then I graduated. When I graduated college, it was 2023, yeah, because that was the year before I got married. And then I just started
making me feel really old right now, sir.
But
no comment from the guy in the middle. I was waiting for something.
I was going to let him keep talking. I didn't want to jump in, but yeah. I mean, Mike graduated college. Was JFK president? I think. Yeah, there you go.
All right, let Benjamin back in there now. All right, okay.
But yeah, it's been about probably 3 years plus growing. So I ain't got no plans to shave it off either.
All right.
Okay. Well,
Dallas Keuchel would be very impressed.
Right? We like it. All right. So today, guys, the NFL sent a memo to clubs saying Brandon Sorsby will not further do any litigation or anything towards the NFL. He will instead focus on the preparation for entry into the 2027 NFL draft. Cheese, is that the right choice for him?
He had no leverage. The NFL in the collective bargaining agreement, between the players and the owners, the NFL can decide if they have a supplemental draft or not. The NFL has complete control, 100%. So if he tries to sue, his lawyer told him, you got nothing, and he's not even in the NFL. So can the players union even do anything? So he has absolutely no leverage. So yeah, this is the right thing to do. Yeah. What else can you do?
Right. Joe, we appreciate you. I'll pull that off screen, and then I'll ask Ben Jarman the same question. Is this the right move for him right now?
Yeah, I agree 100%. Because he's got no leverage. He's not even in the NFL. It would just be a waste of time and money. And I think if he even wants a chance to play in the NFL, trying to prepare for the 2027 draft is the best way for him to go.
All right. So, I'm sorry, sir. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say absolutely. It's his best way to go is to prepare for the 2027 draft.
All right. So, Benjamin, I'm going to stick with you for a second and ask you this. Now, I know he can still have a day, like a pro day, and a site where clubs can come see him work out. But my question to you, sir, is do you think all 32 teams will show up to that pro day he has?
No, I don't think all 32 teams are going to show up. I think the teams that are looking for a quarterback or someone that's absolutely needing a quarterback, or maybe just or a team that's just looking for a backup would probably show up. It's just because of the whole gambling thing that went on. I mean, that's kind of like that's like the deadliest sin in any league, you know. So no team is really going to want to touch that, especially since he did that in college, and especially with everything that's going on in the NBA with the whole gambling thing. So I don't see a lot of teams, if any team is going to show up for his pro day.
All right. So, Cheese, I'll move the same question over to you. Are all 32 teams going to show up to his pro day?
No. And it's not. See, here's the problem with his pro day. You don't have a college. Like, a lot of times you get 30. Oh, they'll announce on NFL Network 32 teams showed up as pro day. Yeah, because you're University of Georgia or you're Ohio State. Of course, all 32 teams showed up. Doesn't matter what position you play. But he's got his own pro day just himself, and there might even be a team or two that maybe they're interested. Maybe they see him maybe as a backup early on and see what they have with him. They're not going to tell teams we're interested in him, so they're not going to send anyone there. They don't want teams to know they're interested. So his pro day will be just him, no one else. So no way. He won't get close to 32.
Yeah, I think he'll still, I mean, you know, kind of touching on your point, which is I figured one of you would do it, right? I even though he's not with a college, I mean, I don't know if Texas Tech will help him out, or I don't know if, you know, he'll just go to some football stadium somewhere, or if he's going to go to some backfield somewhere and throw. I mean, I guess where he throws really doesn't matter as long as they have internet and stuff like that to where you can still get everything put together. But I think it's interesting how many teams will even show up because, as you said, Cheese, it's not like everybody wants to be, even if they are interested, they don't want to show that they're interested. So there's some back and forth that's going to happen with all of that. Cheese, will his pro day or his interviews be more important to this future?
Real quick, yeah, Joe made a good point. He said the coaching changes. Clint Kubiak is the perfect coach for Fernando Mendoza, in my opinion. I love him as an offensive mind. I love his play calling. He helped the Seahawks win the Super Bowl. They don't win without him. So, yeah, I get why you're optimistic. Just want to shout that out because I see Joe. Yeah, I see Joe making all these comments. Just want to quickly shout it out. We're not forgetting you, Joe. So his interviews, way more important. Pro day is what you do in shorts and a t-shirt. His interviews will be so important. They're going to grill him. They're going to ask him everything. They're going to ask when last time you gambled. Why did you gamble? What sports did you gamble on? What did you know at Indiana when you gambled on the team? His interviews will be as important as probably anyone in the 2027 draft.
Okay. Benjamin, I'm going to ask you the same thing. What about the interviews? How important are they going to be? And is that going to trump what he does on the field?
Yeah, the interviews are going to be really, really important because, yeah, they're going to ask him if he's still gambling. What did he do as gambling? And I know that he checked into rehab for that, so they're going to ask him about how the rehab is going. Has he made any gambling bets? Does he still gamble? Does he gamble on small things? And they're going to, question him about his character, ask him, what's different that he's going to do moving forward, going to the NFL than what he's done in college. Mm-hmm. And so that's going to really be an important thing. And the issue with that is, as well as I think those interviews are going to follow him for the rest of his life because that's going to be the continuous thing that they're going to ask him on.
Right. And William, I see your question. Give me one moment. We'll get to it because I do remember Art Schlichter because I'm the only old guy up here. But we'll see.
I don't remember him at all.
All right. So
I don't think I was alive.
Calm down over there.
Every time
you're in the middle.
I think about but he was the quarterback I was thinking of.
Oh man. Okay.
I've heard of him.
So Ben Jarman, I'll ask you this, and then we'll kind of close this up. We'll talk about Art here in a second with William's question, and then we'll move on to the Buffalo Bills. So Ben Jarman, do you say good luck to him, hoping that he is truly a changed man, or do you wish that he falls on his face and becomes the "don't be this guy" for other college athletes?
No, I wish him the best of luck. I mean, he's young. He was in college when he did that. I want everybody to change, and if he's willing to make that commitment and change, I really do hope that he gets the opportunity to play. But that's only if he's willing to change. I don't want to see anyone fail, but I mean, because he did get caught. He was in college doing that, so I do wish him the best of luck. And if he's a changed man, good luck to him in the NFL.
All right, Cheese, what do you think? Which way would you lean?
Well, I was gonna say something similar, but he said it so well. So I can't top that. That was very well said, Ben Jarman. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, good luck. You hope you root for him. You obviously he made some mistakes. You don't want to just maybe he makes changes in his life, so you want to root for him. And I wish the best for him. I hope he never gambles again.
All right, so let's get to Williams' thing here. He says, anyone remember quarterback Art Schlichter? Yes, I do. Pretty sure he's back in prison. I believe he is as well. And in 1982, he was the 4th overall pick. He was out of Ohio State. Everybody knew he gambled and things like that. Pretty similar to what Sorsby is. In fact, I'll go on with his next comment. Says he reminds me a little of Schlichter, but not overwhelming. And I think what the difference is in 1982, we didn't have all the social media stuff that we have today, right? So he wasn't. Sorsby's name was plastered everywhere immediately as soon as we knew what was going on. Back in Schlichter's day, you had to write a telegram and all kinds of other stuff. So just because of the social media aspect that we have today, I think that's why Sorsby is in a kind of a worse spot. And they still took a chance on Schlichter. He was still drafted. He didn't work out very well, but look him up, young people. If you don't know who that is, Art Schlichter. Yes, William brings that up for us. All right, so let's move on to the Buffalo Bills, gentlemen. The Buffalo Bills opened their new stadium to the public. It's called Highmark Stadium, if you didn't know. The stadium does not include O.J. Simpson on their wall of fame. He played 11 seasons in the NFL, 9 of them with the Bills. Ben Jarman, you wrote an article on this, so I'll start with you. Is not honoring him the right move by the franchise?
I want to say it's how they did it because he was on there in 1980. He was the first person to be on the Wall of Fame.
Okay.
And after the whole double murder trial and then that he was convicted of wrongful death, they still had him on the Wall of Fame. I don't know why it took them 46 years, if I think I did my math correctly, 46 years and a new stadium change to remove him off the Wall of Fame. I think if they were going to do it, they should have done it when he got convicted. I'm just a little confused why they decided to move him off the wall now.
All right, so fair point. Cheese, what do you think about how they're handling O.J. Simpson in Buffalo?
I agree. I could not agree more. Not a fan of O.J. Simpson. What he did, we all know he did it. Someone with half the IQ of Forrest Gump know that he's guilty. He did it. I would have been really disappointed if they did, to be honest with you. He murdered the mother of his children and an innocent waiter, and it's horrible what he did. He deserves nothing. He deserves his name to be absolutely nowhere.
All right, so I'm going to stick with you for a minute because I have a follow-up here. So he faced 2 murder charges in the 1994 deaths of his wife, Nicole Brown, who you just mentioned, and Ronald Goldman, who was basically an innocent bystander. But he was acquitted on both. So, Cheese, the law went through the process, and that was the result. The law didn't convict him, so why should the Bills?
Well, it helps when you're a millionaire and you can pay for the best lawyers in the country. If you have money, you can get away with pretty much anything, at least for a while in this country. So he had money. If he had no money, I think it was comedian Chris Rock said he would be Orenthal, Orenthal the murderer. He wouldn't even be OJ. So, I mean, where are the real killers? Did he ever find them? Did he ever find the real killers? So, no, I applaud the Buffalo Bills. They have every right to put a number player's name on their stadium. They could take someone off for whatever reason. It's their franchise. The owners own it. They get every right to do it, and I applaud them for this.
All right. So, Benjamin, I'll put the same question to you. If the law said he didn't do it, why are the Bills allowed to say that we think he did it?
Well, it's just like what she said. They own the franchise, and they can do that, and I think they do have that right to do so. You know, and I think they have every right. Do I personally think they made the right move? I think they did. I'm just a little confused why, again, they waited so long to do so. But I mean, yeah, I mean, they have every right. I mean, if they don't like hypothetically, they don't like Jim Kelly's shoes, they can just take them off. Now, that's not going to happen, but they have every right to do so. It's their franchise.
He doesn't have the best shoes. Let's be honest.
JC, first of all, it's been a while, buddy. Where have you been? I know you help us out. You retweet a lot of stuff, but what he's talking about is the famous, if the gloves don't fit, you must acquit. If you have never seen the trial, they supposedly got the gloves that OJ wore and then had all the stuff on them and everything else. And then they're like, Mr. Simpson, will you put the gloves on? And the gloves wouldn't even come close to fitting over his hands. So the famous line from Johnny Cochran, which was, if the gloves don't fit, you must acquit. And
it's a good lawyer.
Did.
Johnny Cochran, he had Robert Shapiro, he had Barry, I forget his name. He had literally had the best, 10 of the best 15 lawyers in the country. He's brought them all in, and they knew what they were doing. And brought a blood sample guy. He brought every kind. And Johnny Cochran, he was very good at his job. He did his job. So that's the reason why he didn't go to jail for that. He went to jail for something else, and that was a very happy day for a lot of people. But yeah, I mean, come on, we know. I mean, it's everyone knows.
Oh, birthday 3 weeks ago, and he agrees with you guys. So yeah, he's liking the stand that the Buffalo Bills are taking. I thought it was interesting that they're. I do agree with Ben Jarman though. Why'd they do it now? Why didn't they do it when it first happened? Why did they leave him on the wall and now all of a sudden they want to take him off? That's my only.
I'll tell you why.
With it.
I'll tell you why. Because if they just took it off their old stadium, then it would have been a story. If they just leave him off the new stadium, then it's just they're hoping it goes away. It's just they're trying to kind of not address it and just what I mean. They're trying to. They're not going to come out. We're taking O.J. Simpson off our stadium right now. So, they're you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. But the problem is you've got really good people who are fantastic reporters like Ben Jarman over here who does a story on it. It catches my attention. And now we're talking about it right here on the Lights Out Sports podcast. Look at that.
I think it would have brought more real quick. I just thought it would bring a lot more attention if they had done it right away, in the 90s.
Okay.
I mean, I think that probably would have been the right move. I think the only reason why they probably did it now in the new stadium is just to get, I would assume, just to get a fresh start. Okay. It's the new stadium, new start. That's the only thing I can think of because, I remember reading it and I was like, why did they wait almost 3.5 decades just to do that? They should have just done it when, the whole thing was happening. I wasn't born when it happened.
Yeah, we also talked about off-air USC, which is where O.J. Simpson went to college his last 2 years. O.J. Simpson actually had a pretty interesting life. I read a lot about his life over the last 3 or 4 hours prepping for the show. It's kind of interesting where he came from and all. I'm not saying that, because he was in the projects and all of that gives him any excuse. But if you look at where he came from and what he became, that's not a bad story there. It just went downhill from there.
You mean the actor in Naked Gun movies?
Yes, okay. The actor in the Naked Gun movies, yes. So USC actually retired his jersey, number 32, and they have not unretired it. So, do you think USC should follow suit with Buffalo and they should unretire his jersey?
That's the whole thing again. It would draw so much attention, and attention they don't want. It would actually probably be backfire more, even though probably 85% of people would agree with that. It's just a guess number, I'm throwing it out there.
Sure.
It still would draw attention to it. So I think that's why they haven't done it.
Okay. Benjamin, what do you think? You agree with Cheese? You got a different answer?
I agree with him that I think it would draw a lot of backfire. But I think it might eventually happen because they're seeing, oh, well, there's a professional football team that he played for. They're going to take him off the Wall of Fame. I think we have the opportunity to retire a jersey because, I mean, USC, they're not afraid to ask, their players if they can unretire their jersey, right? Like, look at Matt Leonard. Now, comparing him to O.J. Simpson on the football field, it's totally different, right? But, I mean, they're not afraid to ask, people to unretire the jersey or just to unretire it in general. I think it can happen. The question is, how much backfire do they want to face? Right? Because, I mean, you're talking about retiring one of the all-time greats, unretiring their jersey. But it just depends on how much backfire they want to face.
Okay, I got that. Last thing on the O.J. Simpson, then we're going to move, and we're going to talk about former Titans running back Chris Johnson here in just a moment as well. So Simpson was the first to break the 2,000 rushing yard barrier, but he did it in 14 games. Gentlemen, here's my final question for you. Can or could you at least acknowledge that record without putting him on the Wall of Fame, and do you think they should?
Go ahead.
Say that one more time.
So he is the first person to ever
question.
break the 2,000-yard barrier. Now, a lot of people have done it since then, but they've done it in 16 games, 17 games, right? He was the only person to ever do it in 14 games. Do you think Buffalo should acknowledge that record without putting him on the Wall of Fame?
Oh, wow. That's a good question.
Yeah.
I mean, I might have to say, unless there was another running back that has done it in 14 games. I mean, I know that
There's not.
16, 17, there hasn't.
No.
I mean, that's kind of hard because, I mean, you have to think about it. You're averaging over 140 yards a game.
Correct.
That's a tough one. I mean, just from a character standpoint, I think they can not acknowledge it, but we have to acknowledge it has happened. It has happened. That season that he had was just off the walls. I mean, you're averaging over 140, yards a game. I just don't know how they would acknowledge it without saying, oh yeah, someone did it. Someone had 2,000 yards rushing in 14 games. So is it I think it's possible they cannot acknowledge him. I just don't know how they can go about it.
Okay. So, I mean, Cheese, and I don't know how much you know about his career. His first few years in the league were not good at all. They kind of put him not really on the sideline, but they didn't focus on him. And then that year when he broke that record, they focused on him. He was the guy. They fed him the rock all the time, obviously. And then he breaks this record. So, you've said it before. We've said it before countless times on this show. Coaching and stuff does matter. No matter how great the player is, if the scheme sucks, it's not going to help that player whatsoever. So they finally got him a scheme. He did it well, and he broke the 2,000-yard mark in 14 games, Cheese. You know how hard that is. Shouldn't you acknowledge that?
Well, I'll say this. I do think it will not be broken. I think in 14 games, not in today's NFL, the way they play, it's more of a passing league. Even though the running game's coming back some, there's so many teams that play two running backs. So it's just the wear and tear. It's not going to happen in 14 games. Should you acknowledge it? To acknowledge it, you have to acknowledge O.J. Simpson, and they've already pretty much made it pretty obvious they're not going to acknowledge it. They're going to kind of pretend he never existed. So it's not going to happen.
Okay. All right, gentlemen. I like that discussion, though. It's a nice thing to get involved with. We had some great comments from our fans as well. We appreciate that. You can just simply click the comment button, and you can, as long as you're talking about what we're talking about, we'll be good to go here. So Cheese, I'm going to start with you. Former Titans running back Chris Johnson came out and said he was diagnosed with ALS. He, nor in part, so not in any part of this Good Morning America interview did they even hint at the possible correlation between the hard hitting in football and his ALS diagnosis. Was that because of the pushback they knew they would get from the NFL, Cheese?
Good Morning America is trash. It's absolute trash.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you, but
that the fact they didn't even ask him. I mean, I think there has to be a correlation there.
Mm-hmm.
He's a running back, takes a lot of hits. He doesn't have it in his family at all. It's just bad journalism, but there's bad journalism all over the country. It's everyone wants access. Everyone's told, what to do. And then the narrative, they have to set a narrative. So I don't know. NFL Network and ESPN or Disney, which owns Good Morning America. They're on ABC.
ABC.
They've kind of merged. So maybe it's very possible, but that's absolutely ridiculous. The question was not asked.
Yeah, I mean, it was Michael Strahan, Ben Jarman. I mean, it's not like he doesn't know anything about the NFL. He was the one doing the interview, right? Michael should have asked him. Do you agree or disagree, Ben?
I think he should have asked them. I think it is. I just know it would be probably a tough question to ask, but I think they should have asked just because now there's a lot of NFL players, who don't have ALS or didn't even have or retired that didn't even have like major significant injuries that have came out and said, oh yeah, if I could change things different, I wouldn't be playing football, or they want to let their kids play football. They really should have asked that question, because now you have everything circulating like, oh yeah, why wasn't that asked about if playing football contributed to ALS? I really do think they did miss the mark on that.
Okay. So we're going to do a couple more things here. Then we're going to jump into a Bengals video that Cheese did earlier this week. We're going to talk a little bit about that as well because I'm a big Bengals guy. So before we do that, though, Ben Jarman, isn't that a Bears jersey you have on right now?
Yeah, it's a Walter Payton's jersey.
Are you just trying to upset the Packers guy in the center?
I respect the heck out of Walter Payton. I'll say that.
No, I mean, it was a football thing, so I just put on a jersey. I mean, I have like 20 other jerseys to put on. I don't know. This was the first.
Hey, don't be bragging now. Calm down. Just because the rest of us are poor doesn't mean you're not allowed to be too. All right.
I have breaking news.
Oh, what breaking news do you have, sir?
PCA just hit a homer.
Yeah. Who's winning?
The Cubs are up 9-3. PCA does not suck at baseball.
No, he does not. We will talk about, at least I will talk about PCA later when we do our all-star predictions. And how all that kind of floated out and put into place. Ben Jarman, Cheese floated a theory that the Arizona Cardinals' plan has all along been that they start Carson Beck. That way, if he and the team win with him, then lo and behold, they found their new quarterback. And if not, they can blame the terrible season on Carson Beck and then just keep him around as a cheap backup. Do you think this theory, now you live here in Arizona, right, sir?
Yes.
Okay, so do you think this theory is plausible?
I guess it depends on the theory just because I do think eventually they're going to give Carson Beck the start. But I honestly do think they're going to give Jacoby Brissett the start. Now, if they're going to blame him, 100%. I mean, the Cardinals are, I love the Cardinals. I mean, they're not my number one team like the Bears, but I mean, I go to their games, but I mean, they're pretty dysfunctional and they don't know who to point the fingers at. So I think the original plan now is that they will go ahead and start Carson Beck. Will they blame him? Absolutely. I mean, I feel like, especially with Kyler Murray, that kind of put a lot of blame on him when, he didn't have an offensive line or he had a defense. So I do think if they do go great, I think, they'll put the reins in Carson Beck. But I mean, they're not that great, then, they will blame Carson Beck if he is the starter.
Okay, yeah, but the Cardinals and Brissett are still fighting back and forth, right? I mean, Brissett thinks he wants starter money, and the Cardinals are like, shut up, you already signed this contract, get out there and play. What do you think about that aspect of the whole thing?
I want to know if they're still fighting because he showed up to minicamp and he showed up to practice. Like after that holdout, I just don't know what he's holding out for because, I mean, I think he's getting a base salary of $9 million, and if I'm thinking correctly, if he's going to start, he's probably going to just start for this 1 year, and then they're going to give Carson Beck the rings. But I just don't know what he's holding out for, or even if he's fighting, if he showed up to practice. Because I mean, like, don't get me wrong, he's a quarterback. He should get paid quarterback money, but especially if he's starting. But you're not the franchise guy, so like, I don't know what the holdout is. You know what I mean?
Now, see, I'm not sure if I agree with the whole you should be getting starter money and all that. You signed the contract, shut up and play. Cheese, I'll give you the floor. What do you think about this whole thing?
So, yeah, one thing you left out about the theory is if he struggles, if he's bad, then you're going to pick very high in the draft, and you will be able to draft a quarterback. So it's not just, if he plays well, that's good. If he plays terrible, we'll be a terrible team. Because let's be honest, they're not winning the division. Okay?
No.
They're not winning the division. I can honestly say that they're not going to win the NFC West. In fact, they have of all the teams in the league, if you pick one that guarantee not to win the division, maybe them and the Browns. Like, there's no other teams, like, they're not winning it. So, and if
I
they
actually think I'd give the Browns more of a chance to win their division than I would Arizona to win theirs.
And that's just sad.
Isn't
Arizona's
it, though?
schedule is brutal, though. You finished last place. Guess what? You have to play Detroit Lions because they finished last place too. But if their plan is to play Carson Beck, my theory, if I'm correct, then of course they're not paying Jacoby Brissett because he's not going to play.
Oh no, why would they?
Yeah,
They got Gardner Minshew there too.
that's true. Good point. And Gardner Minshew has been a starter for a couple years in his career. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he could be the guy that if Carson Beck does so bad that they can't keep throwing him out there, they at least have somebody in the back room somewhere they can dust off the cobwebs and say, okay, there you go, behind center for you, sir.
Right.
And he's making more money, I believe, than Jacoby Brissett too, which I'm sure upsets Mr. Brissett as well. All right, so the last thing we're going to do here on the football part of it, Cheese's Bengals video, right? So, Cheese, help us here. Set us up for a moment. What have you been doing over the past 8 weeks? Give us that part of it so we can get a good picture of what we're going here.
So I needed something to do for my channel in the off season. So last year I did off-season recap for every team. This year I want to do something different. So I just did the 5 biggest moves that each team made in the off-season. It could be anything. It was either a coaching change or draft pick or trade or free agent signing or just not making a move or not firing a coach, anything, So I went through all 5 things, and I'm on the last week of it. I waited to do the AFC North last, and I just did the Bengals. I released my Pittsburgh Steelers video today. Tomorrow will be the Baltimore Ravens, and then Thursday I will release the Cleveland Browns. That's the last team. I've already pre-recorded all of it. I have to do that on the weekends, obviously. Do that a lot in the off season. But yeah, I did the 5 biggest moves for the Bengals, and I wanted to do that first of the AFC North teams because I knew as a Bengal fan you wanted to talk about it.
Yes, so I do want to talk about several aspects of your video. So
And
Dexter Lawrence.
go to Football with Cheese on my YouTube to check out those videos. All teams. So whatever team you like, I made a video about it. Unless you're Ravens or Browns, but that's coming the next couple of days. Go ahead.
All right, no problem, sir. I don't want to get in the way of your shameless plug, sir. Oh man! All right, so Dexter Lawrence, they traded for him, but should they have waited to see who was there with kind of the deal being in place? And do you think they could have been able to do that, Cheese? And then I'll turn the same question over to Ben Jarman here in just a second.
They couldn't have waited if they wanted him. I think the Giants wanted to either move him before the draft or just keep him in draft. So they had to make a decision. And the rumor was, I don't know if you heard this too, Mike, but I think Adam Schefter actually tweeted this, that the Bengals had 7 guys and then a huge drop-off. Like 7 guys that were even like top 20 talents in the entire draft. That's not good. And then the drop-off was huge, and they didn't want to get stuck with one of those guys. They had to make a decision. So they decided, well, Dexter Lawrence is better than anyone who can get at 10. So let's go for it. It's a huge need. He's the best nose tackle in the NFL. I was thinking about this, and I mentioned in the video. I think he's the best nose tackle I have ever seen. I was thinking about this. The only nose tackle I can think of that was maybe you could make an argument is Vince Wilfork with the Patriots, but he can rush the passer and stop the run. Those 340-pound guys aren't great pass rushers. So I think the Bengals decided we have to fill this huge need, and we might get stuck at pick 10 drafting our 21st, 22nd best player that won't make an impact like Dexter Lawrence. So I absolutely understand why they did it.
All right, but here's the problem, Benjamin. Caleb Downs was there at pick 10. So I'll ask you this question. Did the Bengals make the right choice? Or should they have waited and possibly picked Caleb Downs?
Ooh, that is a good question. I think personally, I think they did right now. They made the right decision in getting Dexter Lawrence because they needed to fill that gap as in that tackle position. Because they already didn't have Trey Hendrickson. He was already leaving a free agency. I knew they were not going to get Max Crosby, so that was a given. So they really needed somebody to pressure the quarterback. And just as she said, there really wasn't anybody that would have been available at 10, except for Caleb Downs. But to really get a quarterback, I think they made the right move getting Dexter Lawrence. I wanted Dexter Lawrence to be on the Bears. I knew that was going to happen. And I think just giving up
that was rumored that they were among the finals. No, it was rumored. Of course, Max Crosby was rumored for them too. But anyway.
Well, it didn't work out for Max Crosby, but I wanted Max Crosby too. I'd take him over Dexter Lawrence, but I think they made the right decision. Ooh. And because I really do think they need to address the pass rush. So I do agree. If I was a Bengals fan, I would agree with it.
Now wait, Cheese, I have to piggyback off something that Benjamin just said that I didn't think was going to come out in this. He said he would have picked Max Crosby over Dexter Lawrence. Yes or no?
I think the Bears need an edge rusher more than a defensive tackle. So okay. I get that. I think Dexter Lawrence is a slightly better player. They're both very good players. I think Dexter Lawrence is just so unique, just because what he can do. There's just not another nose tackle like him. But I get why he's saying that. The Bears needed edge rush help for years, and they still don't have, since they traded Khalil Mack, and they haven't really addressed it.
They're waiting until they move to Indiana, I think.
But one thing you said, you asked about Caleb Downs. The Bengals, I guarantee you, did not think he'd be there. I didn't think he'd be there. I mocked him ahead of that. I heard really late in the process, like 24 hours before the draft, that he could fall out of the top 10. Very late. They traded him before then. So I just don't think they thought. And even if they do keep the pick and draft Caleb Downs, they still have a huge hole at nose tackle, huge hole at defensive tackle. They do probably have the best safety combo in the NFL. Brian Cook's amazing too. But that would still be a huge hole in the defensive line. So I think it'll work out. But it would have changed the entire draft if they hadn't traded for him, because they would not have taken Francis Maui-Noah. That's who the Giants took. It would have just changed the entire draft. It probably would have taken Caleb Downs, and then what did the Cowboys do? And it would have been, So yeah, I think Dexter Lawrence, if his elbow's healthy, I think it's going to really work out for the Bengals.
Now, Cheese, I'm going to stick with you for a second because you're the guy who, and you talk about this in your video as well. Again, where can they get that video? Why not? Just give you the plug. Come on.
I haven't plugged it all today.
Football
with Cheese on YouTube. Football Cheese, CHEZ is how you spell cheese, at least how you spell my name. And then X Football Cheese. So yeah, just subscribe, hit the bell, all of that. I cover all 32 teams on the channel.
Okay, so you're the guy who's always saying that line play is not about sacks. So, Cheese, what do you mean by that? And then after you give that, I want to see if Benjamin agrees with you.
It's pretty simple. We were judged, edge rushers were judged by sacks in the past. How many sacks do you get? The best edge rushers got all the sacks. Before analytics, no one was worried about how good a run defender the edge rusher is. No one was worried about pressure percentage. How many sacks? How many times you get the quarterback on the ground? It turns out, according to analytics, the best pass rushers are that have a higher pressure rate, because a sack is great. Don't get me wrong. Getting quarterback on the ground is important, but getting pressure is even better, because pressures cause incompletions. They cause interceptions. They cause someone to get off their main target and dunk it down. And of course, they cause sacks sometimes. And one more point about it, anyone can luck into sacks. Before this year, I don't think Josh Sweat, who is a very good defensive end edge rusher for the Cardinals, he had never had a double-digit sack season. He was a very good player for the Eagles. But he still got a lot of pressure. Kyler Fackrell has a 10-sack season. Kyler Fackrell.
Who?
Yes. And you know why he does? Because he played opposite one year with injuries. Packers had a ton of injuries. He played opposite Clay Matthews. And Clay Matthews was getting pressure all the time. And the quarterback was running away from it. And Fackrell ran into all these sacks. So, well, if a guy gets 25 sacks like Myles Garrett, of course, that's amazing. That's different. But there are players that have lucked into 8, 9, 10 sacks that have not been good edge rushers. So pressure rate, pressure percentage is a better stat. It's a more consistent stat year to year.
All right. So, Cheese, your mic is kind of doing some funny stuff as you were talking, so you may want to look into it. Ben Jarman, I'm going to go to you for a moment. Do you think, or do you agree with Cheese, that sacks don't always tell the story when it comes to line play?
Yes, I do agree 100%. And I know this was about 15 years ago. I remember when the Bears had Julius Peppers and they had Corey Wootson. The first season, Julius Peppers played with Chicago. I think it was like within the first 9 games, he had 3 sacks. And I remember I didn't understand football at the time, but I was like, man, he got 3 sacks in 9 games. This dude sucks, man. We spent all the money on him, right? But he was so fast. He was so tall. He would disrupt the pass. He would always get pressure. And I remember the commentators always praising him. I'm like, dude, this guy got like 3 sacks. What's going on? And then he started getting more sacks at the end of the year. 2 years later, we get a defensive end, Corey Wootson, in 2012. And this was the last year for Lovie Smith and that was coaching. And I remember I think he had like 8 or 9 sacks that season. And he barely played. He was a special teams guy, but he was a backup defensive end. And I was like, this guy, he has 8 sacks. He played like half the snaps as anyone else on defense. I was like, this guy's going to be a superstar. He got 8 sacks. How could he not? And then I remember we gave him the start for like, I think a season or 2. Granted, he was under Mel Tucker's defense, so it's not that great. But he never panned out. And I mean, I can say sometimes getting sacks, yeah, I mean, they could be, lucky, especially, I mean, if the quarterback's just there and he can get him down. But I mean, if you're racking up like 25, like as she said, 25, 22 sacks, like that's impressive. I'm not going to leave that out. But I mean, just remember watching Julius Peppers when at that time he only had 3 sacks. And I'm like, this guy stinks when he actually didn't. And then watching Corey Wootson play like half the time and get 8 sacks. And I'm thinking this guy's going to be in the Hall of Fame. And then he was just out of the league in 2 years. Yeah, I do think that, sometimes stats is just a number and you have to look beyond that.
And Julius Peppers saw all kinds of double teams Corey Wootson did not.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, 100%.
All right, gentlemen. So, Ben Jarman, I'm going to go with you. Before you answer, though, give us your socials and stuff like that so that we can know where exactly to get you. But I'm going to ask you this. If the Bengals don't make the playoffs this season, will they completely clean house in their front office? Give us your socials and then answer the question.
Okay, so you can find me on Twitter at Just Jarman, or you can just look it up on my first and last name, Ben Jarman Munguia. I'm also on TikTok with the same handle at Just Jarman. You can find me on Tumblr as well. I'll be soon moving out of Tumblr, going to somewhere else, but I'll keep you guys updated. Same handle at justjarman.com. Right. When it comes to cleaning house, I think they should, but would they? I don't think so, because they do take their time when it comes to cleaning house to like fire everybody if they don't make the playoffs. I mean, especially if they have like an 8-9 season or 9-8 and they miss the playoffs. Mm-hmm. I know that everyone's going to stay where they're at.
Okay. I think it'll be interesting to see. Hopefully we don't have to go through that, because hopefully the Bengals do make the playoffs, since I'm the Bengals guy. But I'm a little scared that if we don't, they're just going to they're just going to put a grenade in there and blow that whole thing up. But Cheese, what do you think? You're going to disagree, aren't you?
All right, so I'm going to make this quick because I could talk about this for minutes on end, but I don't think Duke Tobin's done a good enough job. I think last year his draft was a disaster. We'll see if those guys improve. It was a disaster, and there were so many good players that he passed on that could have really helped them at positions of need.
Yep,
and then I don't think they're going to make a change because I think somehow Duke Tobin has fire armor. Like, he's not going to get fired. Like, he's got armor. You try to fire me, and he's got the armor that bounces off it, you know? And then Zach Taylor, there are a lot of Bengals fans on X. Trust me, a lot of them wanted him fired. I don't necessarily think he's a terrible coach, but I also don't think there's anything. By the way, is this better? Because I changed the mic.
It is actually, and I could hear you typing earlier. So yeah, it's much better. It's picking up everything.
Yeah, it somehow defaulted to like my computer mic. Now I got it back on this. Okay,
you're good to go, buddy.
I don't think anything Zach Taylor does necessarily makes it better. I don't think there's anything about him as a coach. You watch his games, his game plans, everything. You think, wow, this guy's out coaching this guy. You know what I mean? So I don't know why the Bengals, maybe they just don't like to make a change. There's a lot of teams like that. No, let's just keep it going. Let's keep continuity. But I just don't think Zach Taylor and Duke Tobin, they're average at best. And they need to show something this year, or they should move on from both of them.
Yeah, I mean, you know my feeling on this. We'll kind of wrap it up this way. We'll talk to Ben a little bit more. And Zach Taylor is not a terrible coach, but he's not a good enough coach to be calling the plays and doing everything else, right? He needs some help.
But what is his best trait? What is something like he's got a great offensive scheme? I agree. It's a good scheme.
Well,
Burrow's a good fit.
A good offensive scheme with what he's
Matt LaFleur has a good offensive scheme. He's not a good hit. But my point is, what does Zach Taylor bring that makes him like, let's just keep him on? I just don't see anything.
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you just got to keep in mind, too. I mean, I feel like the Bengals ownership, they do keep people longer than they need because, I mean, you had Marvin Lewis there for so long, and then you had Dave Shula. I think he was there, I want to say, 5 years and didn't even make the playoffs. That was in the 90s. I mean, they have a history of having –
Marvin Lewis was there a long time, too.
Oh, yeah. They have a history of having coaches there that overstay their welcome.
Yeah, and that's just because they're cheap. That's all that comes down to. I mean, you know, there are organizations who want to compete, and there are organizations who want to get their team's total payroll under this amount, and that's what we go for. So I think the Bengals are more of the second one than the first one, unfortunately, and I've had to suffer through this struggle. That's why I moved out here to Arizona, and then it didn't get much better out here. So I'm like, man. All right, so Benjamin, hey, man, we certainly appreciate it. We're doing a lot of stuff with you. We've kind of put some things together. A lot of times I know you put this podcast on some of your articles that you put over on your site and everything. And I want to tell you, just, you know, me to you, before you decide to go somewhere else, let's talk about a couple things first, because All Gloves Off Sports Media might add a website to what we're doing. So.
Okay.
All right. Don't do anything until you check with me first. How about let me have first right of refusal, okay?
All right.
All right, sir. We certainly appreciate it. Give us your stuff one more time. Where can our fans find you, sir?
Yes, you can find me on Twitter, Benjamin Munguia, or my Twitter handle, Just Jarman. You can find me on TikTok as well as Just Jarman as well.
Okay.
And then you can find me on Tumblr at Just Jarman.
Last thing, buddy, I know you're working on some things this week. Tell me some topics that you're looking into and researching so that our fans can know what you're about to write about.
Yeah, so the topic I'm going to be working about is the battle of the starting quarterback position in Arizona. Since Arizona still has yet to name a starting quarterback, I do want to put in some ideas on who and why they would be the starting quarterback. And another story I'm trying to put out is, do the Vikings have a chance to take the NFC North if Kyler Murray is going to start?
That's an interesting question. That's something we should have maybe done on this podcast, but you know,
we can't do everything.
Well, no. I mean, All right. Benjamin, certainly appreciate it. Thank you very much for coming on with us. We'll talk to you again soon. Okay, buddy?
All right. Thank you, guys. It's been an honor. I appreciate it.
All right.
Man.
Thanks, Ben.
All right. Have a good night.
You too.
Too.
All right. So, Ben Jarman right there, great guy. Does a lot of stuff for us and does a lot of great articles over there. Just make sure you look at him on Tumblr and you can find everything that he does. So, Cheese, we're going to go out of the realm of football for a moment. We're going to go to our baseball talk. But of course, before we do that, we've got to give these fans what they came to see. We've got to give them the best graphic in all of podcasting. And here we go. All right, buddy, there it is. When you have a baseball and fire and everything, man, you just can't get anything better than that. So that's what we're going to go with. Hang on here. We got one more football thing. Mike, you went from cheap ownership to incompetent ownership. That's like going to the chum bucket to garbage. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate the encouraging words on my football team. I do. All right. We, sir, are going to do a lot of stuff here. I was going to pretty much circle around the All-Star game. We'll talk a bunch about it, and then we'll explain to everybody how we're going to do this when we get to each position. We are going to pick who we would vote for, whether it's the final two or however that does, or it's somebody else, and why we will do that. But first, Cheese, in phase one, you, the people, picked Shohei Ohtani and Ernie Clement. Yes, that's not a misprint. You picked Shohei Ohtani and Ernie Clement as the two highest vote getters in round one. So they got to cement what they were doing. So now you don't get to vote on the National League DH because that's Shohei's spot. And you don't get to vote on the American League second baseman because that's Ernie Clement's spot. Cheese, are you proud of these two selections?
No. A disaster. Ernie Clement, really? He's having a good year, but Ernie Clement was the 8th or 9th place hitter for the Blue Jays last year. He's the 8th or 9th place hitter coming into the season. He's moved up. No. Obviously, Toronto comes out and votes. It's absolutely ridiculous. Ohtani makes sense. Clement makes no sense. Well, so Ohtani in the past years makes sense, but it's terrible.
Yeah, that's the way baseball did it this year. They allowed everybody to narrow it down. We'll talk about that a little bit more. And then the two highest vote getters were Shohei Ohtani and Ernie Clement, and they just automatically went through. They didn't have to be voted on or anything like that. So now fans can vote up to 5 times a day in this phase one process, Cheese. Is that too many times?
No, I think 5's okay. It used to be 1 per day, but no, I don't think it should be more than 5. I think 5's okay. What do you think?
I think 5's too many.
Okay.
You get Ernie Clements of the world, and wait till we start getting to some of these guys that have made the top 2. You're just going to go, who, what, why? So some of the people from these big cities I guess they got nothing else better to do in their lives than to vote for all-star candidates, and they want to make sure that the team that they represent is in the all-star game. By all means, you have the ability to do that, but how about you do some research? How about you look at some numbers? How about you pick the people who deserve to be there instead of some of these people that got to this point? So let's see here. JC saying No, but fan voting should be thrown to the wolves. Okay, so my uncle and I were talking about this over the weekend. I completely understand, JC, why MLB wants fans to vote. I'm going to cough here, so I'm going to turn. Excuse me. So yes, because you want fan participation. You want the fans to be able to feel as though they have some kind of voice. So I get why the fan voting is there. I just don't like the fact that you can vote so many times and it's such a long, prolonged period, and you can just stack votes and stack votes and stack votes. That's the part of it that I don't like and don't necessarily understand. Now she's in the second phase, which is where we are right now. It's there's 2 more days of this second phase. Fans can only vote once a day, but you can only vote on the 2 people now. So we're going to do it this way. Well, first of all, Cheese, what about 1 vote per day once it gets to this second phase? Are you okay with that, or do you think that needs to be changed?
I'm okay with that. I think fan voting needs to be taken away. They're not going to take it away because they want fans involved, and it keeps them engaged in the game. They want to see who makes it, so people are paying more attention to baseball. But we've seen, it's not just this year, other years, some teams just take over the voting, and a person that has no business, maybe not even being a starter, but even being in the game, gets voted in, and it's absurd. And I think it's time to. I hate to admit this. I defended it for years, but it's time to take away fan voting. I want the best players, every position in the All-Star game, not who the fans vote for.
It's like the ABS system. There are a ton of people who were against it, and now we're getting the right calls, and you're getting more fan interaction because, I mean, some of the loudest cheers I hear on the games are they're waiting in anticipation for that screen when the baseball comes on, and it's like, okay, is it a strike or is it a ball, right? And the cheers that come off of that. So maybe it is. I'm not sure if that's what I want, but maybe. So now on the second part, you can only vote on 2 people. And those 2 people were the top 2 vote getters at each position from round 1. So do you like this concept, Cheese? You can only vote on these 2 players, and they're the top 2 vote getters from the first round.
No, this is stupid. For 2 reasons. One, why just the top 2? What if 3 is a very good player? What if they're close? But also, what if it's 3 or 4 and the 4th place guy gets like really hot and then just jumps the guy who had this really good April and May, So it's just, I guess you have to have a number, but I kind of like how it used to be 1 vote a day, and it was just 1 vote until they cut it off. But they want, I don't like the system, and fans are clearly not getting it right. I mean, they're getting some things right, obviously, but not all of it, as you'll see.
Yeah, we're gonna. That's kind of what we're getting to here. Is we're gonna go through these, and I know I've got a bunch of notes. I'm sure you do too. Who needs to be here. So here's how we're going to do this, Cheese. This is going to be an interesting exercise for the rest of this podcast, and then at the very end we'll do our batting cleanup, brought to you by ForwardFan.com, of course. But here's how we're going to do the next few minutes. So we're going to look at it, and we're going to vote for one of those 2 players. And then if one of us disagree that it should be someone else and not those 2 players, we're going to tell you who it should be and why it should be that person. All right. So I know Cheese has been doing this whole thing on his thing where he's like, okay, tell us in the comments, all of this. So, and then at the end, he's always like, get it? Good. So I'm going to do this. I want to say, get it? Got it? Good. All right. So leave us in the comments if you disagree with us. We're going to tell you who the 2 people are. And then if you disagree with that, tell us. And if you disagree with who we want to pick, tell us. This could be a great interactive segment, and we're looking forward to it, Cheese. So here we go. We're going to start in the AL, and we're going to start behind the plate with the catcher. So the AL catcher that you can vote for, the 2 top vote getters from round 1, were Shea Langoliers from the A's and Alejandro Kirk from the Blue Jays. So, Cheese, first question is, would you vote for one of those two players?
No.
Okay, who would you vote for?
Dylan Dingler of the Detroit Tigers. He's put up very similar offensive numbers to Shea Langoliers. They're the two best by far in the American League. Those should be the two catchers. But Dingler is the best defensive catcher in baseball. Well, definitely the best in the American League. Got Patrick Bailey for the Giants. But Dylan Dingler should be the starter, and or Langoliers. But no, Alejandro Kirk, what a joke that he's even got one vote. It's a joke.
He's been injured the majority of the season, so he shouldn't even be in consideration.
Does he have a home run? Has he hit a home run this year? I don't think he has.
I don't think so, actually.
I don't think he has. I think he's hitting under 200. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, this is where the fan vote kind of takes everything over, and JC's agreeing with you. He says Dingler's a beast.
He is, man.
That's right. He is a beast. I like him a lot. To be honest, though, I'm okay with Shea Langoliers. But I do agree with you that it should be Dingler and Langoliers fighting for it and not Langoliers and Kirk. All right, so there we go. First one done, out of the way. Catcher of the AL. Let's move on to first base for the AL. I'm banking that both of us are going to pick the same guy, and that's going to be neither one of these two. Vladimir Guerrero from the Blue Jays is your first choice, and Ben Rice of the Yankees is your second choice. So you're already shaking your head no. So you're not voting for either one of those guys, right?
Vladimir Guerrero Jr. has been like below average hitter this year.
He has.
He hasn't done anything.
Yes.
Like, what are we talking about here?
It's off his reputation, sir.
Like, Nick Kurtz should have won this going away. He is the best first baseman. Ben Rice has been good, no doubt about it. Actually, I think he has the most home runs among first basemen.
He does.
I think Nick Kurtz should have it, though, slightly ahead of Ben Rice. But Rice, there's a lot more than Vlad Jr. Jeez, Vlad Jr. has been terrible this year.
Right. So I would say Nick Kurtz as well. He leads the league in runs, hits, RBIs, walks, and is second in stolen bases. So what that tells me is he is a more complete player. Now, again, I don't mind this concept of, I would say you need to have three people battling this out instead of two. That would be my only change to this. But if you had Ben Rice and Nick Kurtz battling it out, I wouldn't be opposed to that. I just don't think Vladimir Guerrero should be in this conversation whatsoever.
No. He had 4 home runs for the whole year.
Yeah, he's not been a home run person whatsoever.
He's like a 270 hitter with 4 home runs. He's a below average bat this year. I don't know what happened, but he is just not a good player at this point, and he's never going to give you good defense. So,
right,
it's crazy. He's probably not a top 15.
Money,
he is not a top 15 first baseman right now this year in baseball.
No, he's not. He's not a top 10. He's not a top 15. And I'd have to look at numbers to really see top 15. That's a lot of people. But he definitely shouldn't be on this list, and he shouldn't be up for the starter for the American League at first base.
Nope.
And again, you have to skip second base here because our boy Ernie Clement won the fan vote. Notice these Blue Jays. You've already had Vladimir Guerrero at first. You had Alejandro Kirk at catcher. And the guy who won second base is a Blue Jay as well. So that's the part of this thing that I don't like. Obviously, the Blue Jays have overrun a lot of these positions and have taken stuff over. Let's move beyond second base and let's go to shortstop. The two players that are, look, another Blue Jay. The two players that are here at shortstop, Bobby Witt Jr., Andres Jimenez.
Yeah, Bobby Witt Jr. going away.
Yeah.
Pretty easy.
Yeah, we shouldn't have to really spend too much time on this one. But again, I don't think Andres Jimenez deserves to be even in this conversation.
I agree. I think maybe Kevin McGonigal would be someone else. Maybe Colston, Montgomery. But Kevin McGonigal would probably be my number 2 for Detroit.
I would say what you just said, Colston and McGonigal.
Well, Colston has a lot of homers, but not a lot of RBIs. But Colston Montgomery, definitely with the bat.
Yeah, he's a bat first guy as far as that part goes. So Yes. Apologize there. I had to mute that real quick because you don't want me coughing into that mic. That's terrible podcast.
Do it.
All right. So shortstop, we can agree. Bobby Witt Jr. Now let's look at third base. Kazuma
Sure.
Okamoto,
Sure.
I believe. Again,
That's fine.
what team does he play for? The Blue Jays. He is there. And then Junior Caminero for the Tampa Bay Rays. I don't think the Blue Jays guy should be there whatsoever, but there's no doubt as to who I'm going to vote for, and it's Junior Caminero. That guy is just absolutely killing the ball right now.
Oh yeah, the last week he's hit like 6 homers last week. He's been incredible. Okamoto has 19 home runs, so he has been very good. But no, he's not on the level of Junior Caminero. So yeah, Caminero for sure.
Okay, so you're going to vote Caminero as well for third base?
Absolutely.
All right, so let's look at the outfielders before we get to the designated hitter in the American League. So you've got 6 outfielders, and here they are: Mike Trout, Byron Buxton, Aaron Judge, Cody Bellinger, Jesus Sanchez, a Blue Jay, Dalton Varsho. Oh, look, another Blue Jay.
Yeah.
2 Yankees, 2 Blue Jays, a Twin, and an Angel. How many of those 6 would you consider voting for, Cheese?
Ooh, well, you got to vote for Buxton. He's been terrific.
Yes,
I
agree.
Sure. Bellinger's been pretty good. Judge has been hurt.
And he's not going to come back until after the All-Star break. They've already said it. So why are you even voting for the guy?
Yeah, Trout's been – he kind of had a bounce back. He's healthy, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let me give you Trout's numbers real quick. 54 runs, 62 hits, 12 doubles, 17 home runs with 36 RBIs. He's walked 66 times, and his average is a little down, 234, and his OPS is 394. So of these 6 guys, Trout, Buxton, Judge, Bellinger, Sanchez, Varsho, I'm going to vote for 2 of them, Trout and Buxton.
Yeah, the Blue Jays guys need to go. The Blue Jays need to go. What about Riley Green, Detroit? I don't know why I'm hyping Detroit. I'm not a Tigers fan, I swear. But Riley Green's been pretty good, right?
Riley Green's on my list. For me, it would be Burton, Trout, and Green. So Green, 41 RBIs with 87 hits, a lot of hits. 17 doubles, a ton of doubles. 9 home runs, 34 RBIs. He's walked 44 times, has averaged 285, and his OPS is 377. So for me, that says yes. Complete player. I circle him, Trout, Buxton, now Green for me. Who else you got?
I think I would vote for Bellinger and Green and Trout. Well, no, sorry. Buxton, Trout, and Green. Those are the 3. Wait, do I have to vote 6?
No. Okay. So it is. It's 3: Buxton, Trout, Green.
That's who I vote for. Then Bellinger, I'd put 4th. But those Blue Jays guys, no.
Okay, so I'm giving you 5 guys here because I want to highlight a couple of different guys here. Randy Arozarena is quietly having a really good season in Seattle. 49 runs, 80 hits, 19 doubles. Yes, 19 doubles. 8 home runs, 36 RBIs. He's walked 30 times. He has a 280 batting average and a 369 on base percentage. And the last guy I want to hype up here, I want to give the Chicago White Sox a guy. And Tanaka, I think.
Sure.
Yeah. 43 runs, 65 hits, 11 doubles with 4 home runs, 22 RBIs, 20 walks. Now, those aren't great numbers, but his average is at 291, and he has a 391 on base. So the last 2 numbers kind of put him over the edge for me. And that's who I would do outfield for in the American League. Hang on, I got to get to some of these comments. Holy snot, yes. Yeah, so Nick Kurtz, yep.
Nick Kurtz is such a stud. Oh, my God, the guy can just hit. He's a terror.
Absolutely. JC is saying Buxton, Judge, and Bellinger. But again, JC, Judge has already said he's not going to be back in time. So you're kind of wasting your vote, in my opinion, if you vote on a guy who
Yeah.
is not going to be there.
I would take those two and just put Trout in there, and then Riley Green would be my fourth.
Okay, and here we go. He says you can make the argument for Trout.
Yeah, Judge would obviously make it if he was healthy, but he's not. Yeah,
Right.
so.
So we can kind of eliminate him.
Clearly.
And then he also says the
Clearly.
same thing we said, that Green's been solid.
Solid, yeah.
Okay.
Always like Riley Green. Yeah.
So I think I'm caught up on all of those. Because I'm looking at like 3 different screens here. So let me get back to this one. So the designated hitter for the American League, Yordan Alvarez, and oh, look, a Blue Jay, George Springer.
Springer has not had a good year at all.
No.
Oh my God, is he like a 210 hitter? Well, I think he's been better lately, but Yordan Alvarez has been one of the best hitters in baseball. It should be a no-brainer. That should be a runaway.
Yeah, this one should be a runaway, and George Springer shouldn't even be on this list. Those are the 2 takeaways.
Correct.
Let's go to the National League, sir. We'll start off with the National League catcher.
Real quick, Yanni Diaz would be my second. Tampa Bay. He's had a very good year.
He has actually. There's a lot of Tampa Bay guys who have had really good years, and I think they're kind of being ignored, but they might make some noise in that division before it's all said and done this year. I like watching them. They played the Diamondbacks this past series, and unfortunately they beat them all 3 games, but I did enjoy watching that team and how they go about their business. Though.
Oh, yeah, they're on fire, and the Yankees are going the opposite way. So they got like at one point 5-6 games behind the Yankees. Now they're back in first. So they're trending up, and the Yankees are trending back.
Yeah. Which, anytime the Yankees trend back, it's a good day.
Okay.
National League. Let's start with the catcher. So the 2 people that you can pick from that you fans voted are the top 2 vote getters, Drake Baldwin of the Atlanta Braves and Will Smith of the Dodgers.
No, Drake Baldwin. Absolutely. He even missed time is on the disabled list or injured list. And he still has 14 homers, 42 RBIs, 14 homers, 39 RBIs, 42 runs scored. So I got Baldwin. Who do you got?
So you've got to give everybody a player. Do you like that rule, by the way, that every team needs to have a representative?
I hate it because there's some years where teams are basically tanking. I still remember, I can't even remember who it was. The Pirates one year when I was like a kid had a player that I never even heard of. Like he wasn't even hitting like 250. They had to have someone. The Royals one year when I was a kid had a bullpen pitcher at like a 4-something ERA. I mean, it's just sometimes teams just don't have a guy that deserves it. I'd rather get everyone that deserves it than you have to have representative. It's not like the Pirates or Royals fans that you were watching the game. They weren't.
All right, so we're going to do a poll question about this next week, and then we're going to talk about it more. I like this.
What do you think? I mean, real quick, what do you think?
No, I'm
Okay,
not going to
we'll wait. Okay.
Next week we'll go over it. We'll look at it. Okay. For me, you got Drake Baldwin of the Braves, Will Smith of the Dodgers for the catcher. Will Smith shouldn't even be in this conversation. He's not had a good season. But I tell you a guy who has. Hunter Goodman for the Colorado Rockies should be in this discussion. He's got more runs, hits, doubles, home runs, and RBIs than Baldwin does.
True, but he also was on the DL or injured list. He's got about like 70 more at bats. And he plays in Coors Field. Just throwing it out there.
Well, he actually bats better outside of Coors Field if you really look at his stats.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And then another name. I want to give – it's okay.
We got a lot of names. Mike knows the National League.
I want to give you a name that I want people to start watching. I like this kid. He's with the Florida Marlins or the Miami Marlins, whatever they're called now.
Liam Hicks?
Yes, Liam Hicks. Having a really good season, and nobody's saying anything about him. I like Liam Hicks a lot, and he should be on this discussion as well. This is why I don't like it just being 2 people.
Yeah, because Will Smith is hurt. He has no business being even part of this.
Correct. Yin yang. Okay. Whatever, JC. All right, so let's get to the one where I'm probably going to upset somebody here. And since, there's only me and Cheese, guess who that guy's going to be? First base.
Yourself.
First base, the 2 top vote getters are Freddie Freeman from the Dodgers and Matt Olson from the Braves. Do you like these 2 people?
Yes, I do. I like them both quite a bit. They're 2 of my favorite players.
Okay.
Yeah, I would go with Olsen. He's been tremendous. He's got 20 home runs, 52 RBIs, return to form. I think he's been tremendous. He's such a good defensive player too. Won the Gold Glove last year. So yeah, I think Olsen, but yeah, Freddie Freeman, maybe not putting up quite the numbers he used to, but he's just so good all around player.
I like Freddie Freeman. I like his character. I like all of those things.
Don't pick Philly. Don't pick a Philly.
Oh, I'm going to though. He's having a better season. Bryce Harper should be here. It should be Matt Olson and Bryce Harper.
His defense sucks though.
Harper has more runs, more home runs, more RBIs, has walked more, and has more stolen bases than Freddie Freeman.
He also has way worse defense. Olsen and Freeman are Gold Glove. They're much better defensively. That's the thing with Harper. Hurts Harper is he's a bad defensive first baseman.
I'm not arguing that point, but I also have to give him. This is why I don't like 2. I think we should go to 3.
Yeah.
And
it should be those 3. He would be my 3rd. He would, no doubt about
it. That's. I know he's not great defensively, but that's 5 offensive categories that he is better than Freddie Freeman at. When you do 5 of them better. Yeah. Okay. Second base. I have to stop and breathe for a minute before I go absolutely bonkers on these. Second base is Ozzie Albies and Bryson Stott.
Bryson Stott? No. What?
Those are the 2 people you can choose from. Yeah.
Bryson Stott doesn't even have an on-base percentage at 300. It's below 300. He doesn't get on base 30% of the time. Why is he's hit 7 homers? Why is he even in this discussion?
I don't know the answer.
There are 6 or 7 better second basemen in the National League.
And to be honest with you, I know I'm probably about to upset you, but Ozzie Albies shouldn't be on this list either.
I disagree. But it's fine.
Okay. So what? Okay, and we're allowed to disagree, right? Brandon Lowe. Look at Brandon Lowe's numbers for the Pirates.
I thought you were going to go Bryce Turang. I think you're going to go Bryce Turang.
I am going to go Bryce Turang.
Okay.
Bryce Turang is my second one.
Okay.
Luis
Weatherholt's been very good too.
Weatherholt's been very good as well. I don't think he's up there yet to the caliber of some of these other guys. It would be Lowe, Turang, Arise, and Ketel Marte.
I was going to say, you haven't even mentioned Ketel Marte. Yeah, it's a pretty good group of second basemen. And yeah, man, like Bryson Stott, I put Nico Horner ahead of him. All the guys you mentioned and Nico Horner probably ahead of Stott.
Yeah, I would put Nico Horner ahead of Stott, but I wouldn't even have Stott sniffing this list.
I didn't see. What do you say about the Mets? I was looking back at my notes. Okay. It's not going well for the Mets this year. Yeah.
No, it is not.
No, second baseman's more loaded. We didn't even mention Luis Arias, did we? Did you mention Arias?
I did, yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I missed that.
Lowe, Turang, Arise, Marte. It's okay.
Arias just doesn't have any power.
Don't worry about it.
Arias just has no power whatsoever. But he great contact hitter.
Right, but that's at the end, if you're trying to get a guy on base, and if you're down a run or whatever, and then an all-star game, that's your guy right there. He doesn't need to hit it over the fence. He just needs to get on base.
Yeah. All right. What's next? Shortstop?
Yes. Shortstop, I believe, is next. Sorry, I was coughing.
Yeah, there's one. To me, I had one guy just above. I know Ellie got hurt, but I have one guy that I thought should be number 1.
Yeah, me too. So the shortstops that you can choose from as fans: C.J. Abrams from the Nationals. I don't have a problem with him. Mookie Betts from the Dodgers. He's only played in 50 games. I have a problem with
terrible. He's been terrible this year.
Yes. Well, maybe not terrible, but he doesn't deserve to be on this list.
No, not even close.
Let me see if we have got the same people here, because this might be interesting.
C.J. Abrams, I think that's my number 1 guy. I think C.J. Abrams has been the best shortstop in the National League this year.
Who'd you have at number 2?
He is not as good defense. I have Ellie. As my number 2. Did you have someone else?
I do. Ellie's.
Do you have Perdomo? Do you have Perdomo?
No.
Okay.
Willie Adames. If you look at his numbers in San Francisco,
Okay.
and again, it's San Francisco.
I
All
didn't
right.
think about him.
Yeah. Now, and fans, listen. To do this next year, MLB has a spot where you can go, and it has all the statistics from everyone, and you can actually go American League catcher, National League third baseman, and it puts everybody up there. I mean, it makes it so easy for you guys. It used to be awful before we had these kind of things, and we were looking back and forth and back and trying to figure out who was what and where was this. And yeah, go to MLB.com and go to the statistics part of their site, and they've got a really, really, really good spot there for you to be able to compare third baseman side by side and first baseman side by side, and it's great. It's a great spot.
The only thing with Adames is he's at 275 on base, but other than that, he looks really good across the board. He just does not. Yeah, he doesn't walk much. 5%.
He doesn't wow you a lot, but
Yeah.
you also have to remember he's playing for the Giants, for God's sake. So
He's got some pop, no doubt about it.
he does. He does. I think Adames, for me, if I'm the manager of the National League, would be one of those guys that I would save back.
You'd pick him.
You just
Like,
said.
if you had to pick someone, you would pick him to the team, is what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. He doesn't probably need to start, but he's the guy off the bench that can give me the home run if I need one or something like that. So I like what he brings to the table as far as in the exhibition part of an all-star game.
Maybe
And
a good matchup, like bring him in. He's got a really good matchup with this pitcher.
Correct.
Bring him in. Yeah.
Correct.
I like that.
All right, third base. I got some people for you at third base here. So the popular vote was Max Muncy and then, good God Almighty, Alec Boehm.
You know, Alec Boehm, I'm in a fantasy baseball league. He's available. Nobody has him. That tells you
There's
all
a
you need to
reason
know.
for that.
Yes. That's terrible. Like the Phillies and Blue Jays are ruining this voting. Their
Yes.
fans.
Oh, and by the way, just so you know, so the Reds fans don't kill me, C.J. Abrams. Hang on, I just lost it. C.J. Abrams, Willie Adames, Ellie De La Cruz. That would be my shortstop, by the way.
I would have Ellie second.
Okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Third base.
I hope
Max
so. I hope
Muncy.
not. You like the Reds? No, if he didn't get hurt, his numbers would be
They would, but he got hurt. I mean, we're saying Mookie Betts got hurt. He probably shouldn't be on this list. So
but Ellie's been better when he's been healthy than Mookie Betts.
it's true. That is true.
Yes, much better.
I want you to look at a couple people at third base. Max Muncy, I don't have a problem with because he's done pretty well, even though he's a Dodger, and I traditionally don't like Dodgers. I try to take the
He's having a really good season.
He is. So I try to take the team name off and just look at the person's name for these. But Meade in Washington, Curtis Meade, is having a really good season. Look at his stats, and then I'll give you a second guy. If we got to do one of these things to where every team has to have a representative, I would probably use it on Nolan Gorman at third base from the St. Louis Cardinals.
No, what?
Yeah,
Gorman?
look at his numbers. Mm-hmm. They're not as bad as you probably think they are.
I don't know, man. No, I mean, he's better than Austin Riley, but and you're not picking Manny Machado this year.
No, I'm not.
Machado's just fell off a cliff. Oh my God, what a disaster! Like he's worse than Trey Turner. Like he's just, oof.
Trey Turner's not great either.
Nolan Gorman, really? Okay,
Look at his numbers; they're not bad.
they're not.
Like I
great
said,
either.
if you have to do one person per each team, and that was kind of where my mindset was.
I got you.
So he's the guy I would.
No,
pick
well,
for-
Jordan Walker. Should
Oh, you
make
know
it.
what? Yeah, I'm going to get to
Well,
him.
we're about to talk about him. Yeah,
Yes, we are.
that's who definitely should make it for the Cardinals.
You're right. You're right. All right, so let's transition.
Well, I know my number two is Sal Stewart. I have Max Muncy, Sal Stewart as my number two.
Yeah.
They're based.
All right, look at you.
I know I'm picking all these Reds. Why aren't you picking the Reds? Are you trying to?
I'm trying not to be too
Sal
much of
Stewart's
a
been
homer
terrific
over
this
here.
Okay,
Oh,
but those are the two I had as my top two.
Okay. So the fan voting for the outfield for the National League: Brandon Marsh, Juan Soto, Michael Harris III, Andy Pages from the Dodgers, Ronald Acuna Jr. from the Braves, Teoscar Hernandez from the Dodgers. So
That's right.
2 Braves, 2 Dodgers, a Philly, and a Met. Look at that.
Serenity now.
Hmm.
Best outfielder in baseball is Pete Armstrong.
Best outfielder in baseball. It's interesting.
You got to count the defense. He's been absolutely killing it. He's doubled his walk rate. He is stopped swinging pitches out of the zone. He's got 17 homers, 45 RBIs, 20 stolen bases. He's almost worth 5 wins. We're halfway through the year. He's on pace for like 9.8 WAR.
JC, I yell at Cheese every time he says this. I'm going to ban you if you don't stop that talk. We are not going to have a strike next year.
We're going to make a special about that. We need to organize it.
We keep saying that we're going to do one.
I already have so many notes about it. Yeah, we will talk about that. But I think PCA and Corbin Carroll would be my top. Those are my top 2. PCA, Corbin Carroll, and James Wood would probably be my 3rd. And none of them are in that 6.
Yes. Because the fans took it over.
Look, Michael Harris is having a very good year. Get it. I would put him in my top 6. Acuna's been hurt and hasn't been really effective. I love Acuna. Don't get me wrong. He kind of – I think Ronald Acuna isn't maybe as loved by Braves fans as much as people think. I think he kind of gets our nerves at times. He seems to always have some little thing wrong with him. He gets hurt a lot. Sometimes he takes some plays off, but whatever. But he's popular. But yeah, PCA, Corbin Carroll, and James Wood are my top 3. What are your top 3?
So my top 3 would be James Wood, Jordan Walker.
Oh, Jordan Walker. You forgot him.
And Pete Crow Armstrong.
Yeah, Jordan Walker would be maybe my 4, but yeah.
And then I go Corbin Carroll, Soto, and Pages. And I want to give you a wild card. Again, if Brandon Lowe doesn't make it at second base from the Pittsburgh Pirates, well, Paul Skeens is probably going to be their guy that represents them. But O'Neal Cruz is having a pretty good year over in Pittsburgh as well. So I wouldn't mind seeing him on
That's
this
right.
list.
He doesn't play shortstop anymore. That's right.
Correct. Yeah, he's in the outfield now. So yeah, a lot of different things can happen here. And on the outfield side of it, again, if it's me, I want to have 6, maybe 8, maybe even 10 outfielders that you can choose from, and narrow it down to 4 or 5 guys for the starters, or if you're just going to give me 3 starters, okay. And then the other part of it is, so the coaches and the players are going to pick the reserves. Cheese. We've just given you our starters, and we've given you the people who the fans have voted to be the starters that you can choose from. What do you think about the players and the coaches picking the reserves?
They do a better job than the fans. I mean, PCA is not going to start. I think that's crazy. He started last year. So I actually prefer that, the players and coaches picking the reserves, because what they're going to do is pick the people that deserve it, based on this. Like, I just – like James Wood, okay, 21 homers, 50 RBIs, 13 stolen bases. He has a 383 on base percentage. Not part of the top 6. Part of it plays for the Nationals, but like, he's got to make it.
Right, but that shouldn't matter what team you play for.
It shouldn't. Corbin Carroll gets a triple every other at bat.
He does.
He's a really good defensive player too. PCA, best center fielder in baseball, 17 homers, 45 RBIs, 20 stolen bases. He's been terrific. He's just had the last month. He's just been unbelievable. And even my boy Michael Harris. I mean, he's on the list, obviously, but 14 homers, 43 RBIs. I never thought that was going to happen. He has a very small walk rate, though, so he does not get on base a lot. Only 329 on base percentage. That'll hurt him. But he's another good defender. But this list is Brandon Marsh. I mean, Phillies. I guess he's been solid. Actually, he's been pretty good. I'm looking at his stats. Okay, he's been pretty good this year. Never mind.
Yeah.
Okay, he should make it. Okay, but Teoscar Hernandez, is he doing anything this year?
No.
No, I bet he's not.
And here's some of the things that I want to point out to you. We've talked about a lot of this. Bryce Terang was sort of on the second base list, but no other Brewers are really there. Now,
Mazeroski,
he's going to make it, right?
Oh, they got 2 or 3 starters that are going to be on there. Yeah.
You would hope. Okay.
Kyle Harrison's been amazing too.
He has.
Yeah.
He has. In that trade, they just fleeced. I can't remember the other team. Anyway. All right, buddy. So now we're going to end it with this.
Yeah.
Batting cleanup brought to you by ForwardFan.com. As always, you have been talking about the Detroit Tigers. You even said earlier, I'm not a Detroit Tiger fan. But if you were, Cheese, how much do you think it would cost for upper-level World Series tickets if the Tigers made it?
Well, they had such a bad stretch and they have a losing record, so probably dip below $200.
$45 a ticket.
Wow. What happened to them? Okay.
Over on ForwardFan.com, you can get that for only $45 a ticket. You never know. They might make some big-time moves at the trade deadline, and that is just going to go up and up.
Well, they've won 2 straight, and they are only they're in striking distance of the playoffs. They're 12 games under 500, but they're in a winnable division, and they have a +7 run differential. So they obviously have underachieved so far. So they could absolutely make a run, especially with Skubal back.
Right, and we'll talk about run differential here in a minute. That's a good setup, by the way.
Totally accidental.
Oh, JC, the Tigers aren't that bad. Calm down, buddy.
They've underachieved. They're not. If you look at the list of guys having good years, it's like it's strange that the record is so bad. But of course, Skubal missed so much time that hurts a lot.
Right. And then just to give you a little bit of a dynamic back and forth, right? The Milwaukee Brewers are in first place in the National League Central. They've been winning for a while, as Cheese and I discussed a few moments ago. They've got some really good pitchers over there. And if you would like to get in on it now and buy World Series tickets, they've got a really good shot of going. $170 is all it is for you to get upper-level World Series tickets through ForwardFan.com. And if you do that and you use the code AGL10, you'll get 10 more % off of those tickets. So go over to ForwardFan.com, use the code AGL, all gloves off, of course, 10, and you'll get an additional 10% off of those tickets.
Yeah, the pitching has definitely not been good. Framber Valdez hasn't been nearly as sharp as he was with the Astros.
No, he's not. Okay, guys. So let's clean it up and let's do the end. All right. Let me get to the notes here and we'll go over those because we got some stuff today. So got 4 things for you. Number 1, and batting cleanup brought to you by ForwardFan.com. 456 different MLB players, Cheese, have hit a home run this season. That's the highest total since actually, it's the highest total because it's the only thing that's been done was 453 in 2021. What do you think that says about the hitting or the pitching, or does it say anything about either?
I just think we're getting to a situation where just about everyone in your lineup's trying to hit home runs. It's not the baseball I grew up with where 3, 4, 5, and 6 maybe were your home run guys and everyone else is setting it up. You had your speed guys 1 and 2 get on base for those guys. Everyone was trying to hit the 3-run homer. It was good. Like Ron Gann hit 3rd, Dave Justice 4th. They were trying to hit the 3-run homer, right? Yeah. That's what they were doing, and they were putting guys on 1, 2. So I just think we're getting to a point where we might have every year the record may change. People are just trying to hit homers.
All right. So the second one here, the Dodgers have an 11-game lead in the West. I can't stand doing these stats, but it's true. They have outscored their opponents by 157 runs.
Mm-hmm.
Every other team in the West, I promise you, we talk about it, has a negative run differential, and they have been outscored by a combined total of 187 runs. Is there anybody, Cheese, that can make a run at the Dodgers in the West?
No, not even close. Padres have been disappointing. They're collapsing. They lost last night in a walk-off. Mason Miller lost, couldn't hold it. And they're losing tonight. The Cubs are 1 out away from beating them again. It's just not happening. And the Diamondbacks have definitely, the pitching has been very disappointing. Those are the two teams I thought had a shot, but no.
Mm-hmm. So the Diamondbacks, I don't know what they're doing right now, but as of yesterday's game, they were 500. And let me give you this stat for the month of June. Sorry, Diamondback fans. You probably want to sit down before I give you this. The combined stat line for Kelly and Gallen, their two top pitchers, in June, they went 0-8 with a 7.80 ERA. In 55 and a third innings pitched, they gave up 76 hits, 49 runs, 13 home runs, walked 20 batters, and struck out 24. And they're still 500. I don't know how they did that, how they're still 500 when your number one and number two guys are pitching like that.
They could have let him walk. I mean, they were both sought after in free agency, decided to come back. It's like, if you go back in time, the Diamondbacks, just let them both walk and just roll with the young guys. You'd probably be better off and not pay them. Of course, Merrill Kelly, Gallen, we saw him kind of fall off last year. He did finish strong. Merrill Kelly surprised me. I thought he'd be much better than this. It's funny, he got to a bad start, and then he had like 3 or 4 good starts in a row. It looked like he was turning it around, and then it's fallen apart again. So very disappointing for the Diamondbacks. They expected a lot more out of those guys.
And the Diamondbacks, just so you guys, I'll put the knife in, then I'll twist it around for you. You've got Kelly for 2 years, by the way. Just
Maybe he turns around.
Well, he could, but it's not like Gallen. Gallen's only signed for this year. If you want to cut bait and release him, okay, you cut bait and release him. You can't really do that with Kelly. You're going to have to keep throwing him out there every 5th day and just crossing your fingers and seeing what you got. All right, last one. This is going to be good because I want to see if you can do this for us, Cheese. I want to have you see if you can guess. Sonny Gray is only the 5th active's the key word here, is only the 5th active pitcher to reach 2,000 innings and 2,000 strikeouts. Cheese, who are the other 4?
You know what? I really should read the notes. I could. This is at the bottom of the notes. So
yes, it's the last thing.
So I couldn't cheat. No, I wouldn't do that anyway. Is Verlander still active?
Verlander, number 1, 3,571 in the 3rd inning, and he has the most strikeouts as well, 3,554. So you got 1.
Scherzer is still playing, correct?
Scherzer is technically still playing. Yes, he is number 2, 2,985 innings, 3,503 strikeouts. So he is only 51 strikeouts behind Verlander, and the innings are almost 600 between them.
I'm going to say Chris Sale.
Oh, look at you. Chris Sale is number 3.
Okay.
Chris Sale, 2,174 innings, 2,688 strikes. The next guy, I don't think I would have gotten.
That was the only 3 I could think of. I literally was kind of drawn out, like saying, just trying to think of someone else.
I'll give you this. He plays for an American League team that had way too many players on the All-Star ballot.
Oh, man. I already said Scherzer.
It's the same team.
Oh, man. It's not oh, man. It's not Shane Bieber.
Nope.
It's not I can't think of it.
It's all right. It's Gausman.
Kevin Gausman?
Kevin Gausman, yes.
Oh, man. I never would have gotten that.
I know. Innings is where he barely makes it. 2,006 innings in his career and 2,047 strikeouts in his career. So those are the
he's
five.
been around a while. I just remember him for the Braves. He was so bad they just gave up on him. He was terrible, but
Yep.
he was good for the Orioles, but and then he's been good for the Giants and Blue Jays. But yeah,
Yeah, so Gray, Gossman, Sale, Scherzer, Verlander from bottom to top, 5-1.
yeah, that was a tough one.
It was, especially Gosman. I mean,
No, the other three were Gosman was a tough one. Yeah.
Yeah, JC is like, what? Yeah, so
Oh,
I thought it was interesting that a lot of these guys played for your Braves at one point in time. So, yeah.
That's true. A lot of them did. Yeah.
All right, buddy. Anything that you would like to add to the show before we bid everyone adieu?
I know. I just can't believe you didn't pick Sal Stewart, or as your. I can't believe it. I'm shocked. I'm picking more Reds than you.
You did. Absolutely, sir. All right.
Yeah, we need to do. Everyone watching, we are going to do at some point a CBA special, collective bargaining agreement. We're going to go over every aspect of what the owners want, what the players want, why we might not have a season. Sorry, Mike. And what's going on. We'll do a deep dive because it's a lot more complex than just a salary cap. There's a lot going on. So we are going to try to do that as soon as we can. So just watch out for that. Make sure.
Not that he's putting any pressure on me to do it right away.
No pressure. But make sure you do subscribe to our YouTubes and our X's so you don't miss it. Mike is All Gloves Off SM on X, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All Gloves, and then All Gloves Off Sports Media on YouTube.
Yep.
I am Football with Cheese on YouTube, and then Football Cheese without the with on X. So yes, if you're a big baseball fan, we will break it all down, and it's a good, instead of just trying to Google and figure everything out, we're going to do it all in one show. So make sure you stay tuned for that.
All right. I can't wait to do that. We will do some kind of trade deadline show as well. I'm mulling over a bunch of ideas. I haven't talked to Cheese about this too much yet, but I'm kind of mulling over some different things and figuring out how I want to do it.
Is it July 31st?
It is August the 2nd, I believe, this year.
So that is Monday, August 3rd. Okay, so it's Monday, August 3rd. All right. So, yeah, we both work. Well, you don't work. Do you work Monday? You don't work Monday.
No, I don't work Monday.
I work
Some
Mondays.
people would say I don't work any, but
I don't work Sunday.
Okay.
That's why I record all my videos.
All right. Well, maybe that's what we'll do.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Now, last week, some of you may recall, I thought that I had ended the show when we were chatting, and we did not end the show. We were still live. So this week, I'm going to try to do it the right way. Every once in a while, our streaming service changes a few things on us, and I don't get the memo. And I did not get it because I was not here for 2 weeks prior to that. So I did not realize that they had changed all of that. So I believe I know how to do it now. And we'll see here in just a few seconds. So
they were doing it to specifically, I can't even talk, mess with you. Specifically to mess with you. Yes, I can't even talk. Yeah, they told. I got all these messages like, we're going to mess with Mike. He's been gone for 2 weeks. So, yeah.
All right. And they did. They got it. They got me. All right. So as we always say at the end of this, we appreciate all of you being with us. The only thing that's fair in life is a baseball hit between the third and first base lines. Good evening, everyone.